All right. Well, thanks everyone for tuning in. Another edition of the LeagueDAO Project Hall slash AMA. Um, this is I mean, it's a fun time in general. I think for sports because we've got a lot of playoffs going on. Um, NBA finals, almost not quite NHL finals, or yeah, not quite NHL finals, but getting close. Um, and then football's starting to come around the corner, so a lot more people talking about doing mock drafts and getting ready for the fantasy football launch in basically August. So a few months out from that. So a lot of exciting stuff, a lot of fun stuff going on the league DAO end. We're just full on blinders on building. We're making a lot of progress on the actual league applications, the draft app, all of the UI components, all of that stuff, all progressing, all on track. So that's really exciting. We're yeah, just moving at a pretty quick pace, but that's what we need because we're uh, very ambitious with what we're building, and it's going to be a lot of fun. Come the fall, when everyone's able to have a team and participate in the mega league. So that's all good stuff that we've got going. Um, we are on track in terms of just like the more technical updates. On track with our target for getting all of the smart contracts for all the different components to our auditor for end of June. So it'd be basically like early first week of July is when those audits will begin. And so that's good because that'll give us plenty of time. That also aligns just kind of like our general like testing and that sort of stuff. So just moving everything forward, which has been great. And then also continuing to have updates, and make progress with our partnership strategy, sort of more of the marketing growth side of LeagueDAO. Um, some of you might have seen already, but there have been some of the Seeker NFTs have revealed with LeagueDAO stickers, and um, got confirmation that there's one or a few that have revealed with some of like the LeagueDAO helmet stickers or just the LeagueDAO um, like logo, but there are some that have footballs, like 3D footballs in them as well. So we're waiting for those to reveal. We're gonna have an announcement go out tomorrow, and with that, we'll also be doing like so. The Seekers community will do a post, and then we'll also share that, and we're gonna do a giveaway to just kind of push it a little bit more and to get more of the Seekers and kind of that's for those who aren't familiar. That's part of the whole Fluff World project and community. So it's a pretty massive, pretty well established um, NFT community or metaverse project that we have a lot of alignment with. Um, but we want to continue to further that and get those people in that community to find out about us to come on board. So that's all happening. And of course, we're talking to new projects about every week, continuing to fill the coffers of different partnerships, potential partners. Specifically, right now, looking at our division sponsor model where basically like each of the divisions within the mega league we're gonna brand with a different project. So it'll have be like the universe project or the polymorph project or division, if you will, and like the logo will be some image from them, and that's like no cost thing for us, but it's a great way for us to get more and more communities to feel like they're getting some value out of LeagueDAO, and to give them something to share with their audience and their community. So the that's really just more of like a low cost, high growth model for us, with our core goal of just getting more and more people to participate in the mega league this fall. So that's all good. We're also making good progress in terms of the actual like launch of the League Pass NFT. Our current goal is to have that start to mint or drop um, around again early July, so that way we have a few months where people can mint their League Pass or mint a League Pass and sign up, as opposed to waiting to the very end, right before the football season starts. And this also, it helps from a word of mouth marketing standpoint. There's less of a need for like a big launch right off the bat, but more, creating opportunities and more room for people to organically find out about LeagueDAO, especially as we get closer and closer to the football season. So that's also a big piece for us right now, that we're moving forward with. So a lot of exciting stuff. And I would say, from a top level point of view, we're really happy with everything that's getting built, just the quality of the code that's being developed, and all the devs are doing really, really good work. And we're really happy with how everything's shaping up.
Awesome. Yeah, I'm excited for the Mega League. Almost getting there.
Yeah, it's going to come up before we know it. And for anyone who isn't already aware, how it's going to work is there's going to be we're launching sort of version 2 of our fantasy football protocol, which allows it is a more traditional fantasy game experience and user experience. But what it is everyone will mint a League Pass NFT. That League Pass, you then redeem it. When you redeem it, you will be assigned to a division with 11 other teams. So each of these 12 team divisions, or divisions that have 12 teams, will have their own fantasy player draft, and you will, so like their own pool of players. And these are the second generation LeagueDAO player NFTs, for those and those will be the players that you use and play with during the football season. Additionally, you will, during the season, you can bid on and buy free agents or trade players. That's part of the marketplace that we're building, and buying the players, and just interacting with the marketplace. That's where you will need to use the League Gov or League Ecosystem token. So we're also working on, our plans and moving things forward with bridging the token to Polygon, so that way we'll be able to use it on Polygon and creating liquidity so people can purchase the token on Polygon, because there's going to be a lot of people playing in the league who don't already have league tokens, and they're going to want to buy them in order to be able to bid on and pick up free agents, for their teams, especially, even if you're not like super active in terms of tweaking your roster and finding the like hidden gems. Injuries happen. It's a long season. There's going to be good demand for free agent players in all of the divisions, and so there's also means there's going to be demand for the league token. And so we're excited to implement to see that come to fruition. But also, in the meantime, we know that we need to make sure that we have meaningful, good, solid liquidity for the token so that people can get it who don't already have it. So that's something that we're also working on. Um, Trying to think if there's anything else. Oh, I know I'm kind of like a week late. For some reason, it took a little longer to get to me, but also I received my LeagueDAO hats over the weekend, and or I guess over the week. I've been out of town. I just got home and I just found my hat. So uh, go ahead, if you haven't purchased one, you can go to DGen Supply and pick up a LeagueDAO hat. Definitely recommend it. Really happy with how those turned out. And we'll be sharing the artwork for the League Pass NFT pretty soon. That art itself is actually a part of a larger kind of initiative. We commissioned an artist that we worked with on our NHL like hockey puck concept before, and she made the League Pass NFT and art, and now she's working on the sort of the new League DAO character. So what we're doing, basically like Avatar. So we are creating a new kind of like central LeagueDAO character, like 3D character, that will be modified for different sports, but will create a more consistent visual identity with all of the like second generation player tokens, and also just new Genesis player tokens as well. So that's all moving forward as well. So we've got a lot of stuff going on. Pretty massive overhaul of LeagueDAO. Uh, I know there's a lot of people that probably, at this point, I think just aren't aware of what we're doing, but that's going to change, because we're going to make a lot of noise this fall. and we know with the pool of people that we have teed up to participate in the Mega League, it's going to be pretty massive. And we're going to have a lot of people with a lot of strong followings talking about LeagueDAO. So we're really excited about it. And I think we've made the improvements in like the core tech and UI and game experience, but also in like the tokenomics for LeagueDAO to really like thrive from that. That was a lot of me talking, so apologies for that. Why don't we move into the AMA questions?
Cool. Let's see what we got. Victus was asking if there's going to be any summer surprises like NFB brackets, tournaments. I'm not sure exactly if that's on the agenda, but you might be able to touch on that, Jake.
So there will be some. We've got some stuff that we're working on. It's we like as we have to balance our tendency to want to like do some fun new stuff and throw it out there with just wanting to make sure that we don't like incur some scope creep and lose focus, and because we're building something pretty massive. But we do have some stuff that we're working on that are in addition to just like the league pass drop, which we think is going to be fun and exciting. I will say there won't be a summer NFB bracket, but our current roadmap for non-fungible brackets is after we kick off the fantasy football season. That's when the devs, the team that specifically worked on non-fungible brackets, will circle back to that, because right now they're working on that team is actually working on the marketplace and the draft application, which is of course pretty massive. But they're gonna circle back, and we are gonna have a non-fungible brackets like bracket pool and tournament open up for the World Cup in the fall, which will take place around like October, November. That is our current plan with NFB. That could change, but that's what we have. And then there's some other stuff, like I said, that we're still working on that we think will be fun.
World Cup NFB tournament will be epic for sure.
Yeah, should be a lot of fun. I'm really excited for the World Cup. Should be a
Same.
blast. I mean, Black Friday, day after Thanksgiving, U.S. plays England. Um,
Dang.
so that's going to be a lot of fun. And also, if you are a soccer fan or like a World Cup fan, so maybe more if you're a World Cup fan, but not like an avid like watching soccer all the time, this weekend is the like final like winner takes all match um, for the playoffs, for like the World Cup playoffs, and specifically it's Ukraine versus Wales, and the winner of that match gets added to the group with U.S., England, and Iran. So keep an eye out for that. I'm looking forward to that match.
Is that Saturday?
Ukraine beat Scotland 2 days ago to move to this final round. Let's see. I don't remember
I
exactly
need
what
it.
time it is. Um, yeah, it's on Sunday.
Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah,
but
I'll look out for
that's be a
that.
fun one. And for those who don't know, a lot of our devs are in Ukraine, still are in Ukraine, or are currently displaced into Poland. So LeagueDAO, I mean, we have a lot of ties with Ukraine, and we're definitely supporters of Ukraine. But it's great to see their team, and we'd love to see them qualify for the World Cup. Um, it'll be a whole other story when if they qualify, if they then play the U.S. in the first round. But right now, definitely rooting for Ukraine to qualify. Um, so yeah, I think that was way more than was needed to answer that question.
Okay.
Another question that's on there is are the Mega League entries randomized in a way that will ensure that there won't be collusion in the Mega League in the divisions. So yeah, we're definitely very conscious of using verifiable randomization and not leaving the door open for concerns and speculation around collusion, because that's just a big part of Web3. And so we are building in sort of verifiable randomization in terms of what division you get assigned to when creating or when redeeming your League Pass NFT. So we're as much as I know a lot of people like being able to be in a division with like with their friends and stuff. It's a big enough concern for us, that the prospect and potential for collusion, that we decided to make the divisions randomized as opposed to um, adding in or allowing people to pick the division that they're going to be participating in. And then long term, of course, our plan is to open up the protocol so that other communities can create their own leagues using the LeagueDAO protocol. So that, of course, is a very different model, and I think is more suited for the like friend and family leagues that people have, and we want to support those and not dismiss a key part of the fantasy football or fantasy sports user experience. So that's part of like our long-term roadmap. But this initial season is just going to be the LeagueDAO sponsored Mega League.
And yeah, if anyone, go ahead.
Oh, sorry. I was just going to jump in. There's another question, kind of dovetails on that. Is there only one team per league pass, or would we, or I guess, therefore, would you need to have a separate wallet if you want to have multiple teams within the Mega League? So yes, it is going to be limited so that it's only um, one league pass can be redeemed per wallet. So if you want to have multiple teams in the Mega League, you will need to uh, have the Mega League or the League Pass held in multiple wallets and redeem with each wallet. But it is one League Pass per wallet. Now you'll be able to purchase multiple League Passes and hold multiple in one wallet, um, but you won't be able to actually like redeem multiple League Passes with the same wallet.
Yeah, and luckily it's on Polygon, so you don't have to really worry about fees with how cheap it is to send around stuff on Polygon with Matic. If you were to have multiple teams.
Which
GM's
I mean,
friends. Sorry, I'm late.
all good,
Yeah,
all
sure.
good. I mean, I think we're just making our way through. I mean, if anyone else has any questions or that, so any idea when the snapshot for the league pass will occur? So how that's going to work is we will set like a final date. We have like a rough timeline that we've outlined, but basically it's going to be right before the actual fantasy drafts, like each division's draft begins. There will be like, and we will announce it and make it very public that there is a final date that you have to redeem your league pass. So it's not even like a snapshot. It's you actually have to go to the application and redeem the league pass NFT like via our UI. And the reason we did that is because one, we're not just really it's because we're not just assigning the holders of the league pass to a division. What we're also doing is you get assigned, but then also you receive in return a set of draft tokens or D League tokens, which are specific to your division. And so because it's still decentralized, how the draft actually works is when you pick your team, when it's your turn in the snake draft, right? It's to pick your player. You're actually exchanging one draft token for that player NFT. So you have to have those draft NFT or tokens, sorry, ERC20 tokens. But those are not transferable. Like you can't send them to someone else. And even if you did, they wouldn't be able to use it because they're specific to each division. And then beyond that, we also wanted to make sure that once a league pass has been redeemed, right, that no one could potentially go and sell that league pass, and someone could buy it and then not be able to actually use the league pass to join the league. So the league pass NFT is transferable, and that you can go and buy them and then sell them on secondary. But if you wanted, we wanted to make sure that if someone is buying one, that it has not been redeemed. So once the league pass NFTs are redeemed, they're then burned. All right. Any other questions?
Yeah, if anyone wants to jump on the stage, just request and we'll bring you on up.
All right. Well, if there isn't, then I think we can transition the call to just the more of the sports side of things. And what I thought for this call, change it up a little again, and go through. Just curious with the speakers, your pick. Basically, if you were to, I don't know why I'm having trouble finding my words right now. But basically, who's your top draft pick in a PPR draft right now?
David Montgomery.
Interesting. You take him over Jonathan Taylor?
Ooh.
Yeah, I was gonna say Jonathan Taylor, but yeah,
Jonathan Taylor. Yeah, okay.
Or
maybe
him
even
over Jonathan
Christian
Taylor, or
McCaffrey.
even Najee Harris. I
I don't know
feel
about
like David
Najee Harris.
Montgomery and Najee Harris are a little bit closer. Jonathan Taylor, I mean, this could be Jonathan Taylor is tough because he's still so young that it's hard to gauge, like, is he going to repeat the performance he had last year?
Is this a Saquon moment where we all get
Yeah,
wooed by the first year and then he doesn't produce the next year? But Montgomery has been pretty consistent. Najee looks like a beast, and he's going to have dump downs because Mitch is running the first teams.
yeah,
But David keeps producing. They're apparently trying to gear it up so that they have an even stronger running attack, which is why I've been saying David looks like the guy.
yeah. Interesting. Now, I'll modify the question a little bit. Would any of you draft Christian McCaffrey in the first round?
I'm too scared of injuries.
Yeah, that's true with the injuries for him. Maybe. I don't know exactly yet. Maybe.
Is there any player that isn't a running back that you would pick up, that you would draft in the first round? Like, do you take Cooper Cup over a Najee
Yeah,
Harris,
Cooper
or like
Kupp
a Joe
or
Mixon? Do you take, or a Justin Jefferson or Jamar Chase?
yeah, that
Jamar Chase or Cooper Cup would
yeah,
be.
I would do that. Yeah, Cup or Chase if I was gonna do one in the first round, other than a running back probably.
That the problem with wide receiver, it's just the nature of the game is that you have way more receivers and there's so many that emerge throughout the season that almost always my strategy is always first two picks is running back. Almost always. Sometimes even three running backs in a row.
Yeah, I think that part of the challenge also with receivers is that it also depends on the quarterback. And is there a quarterback that you feel can reliably get the ball into the hands of the receiver? Um, and that's where you look at Cooper Cup and you look at his relationship with Stafford, and like it's hard to not feel good about that combo. Like, okay, Cup's going to get his like catchable balls, like a consistent amount of opportunities. Um, Same thing with Jamar Chase. Like after what we saw last year, like yeah, you have to feel good about his opportunities. Um,
In a PPR league, that goes down because you can always bank that some curl or slant route is going to get thrown, and that they'll make like some easy garbage completions. Like Jalen Hurts' team, like those receivers are going to go ahead and pile up the short garbage stats, but they won't pile up anything like big play breaking, like touchdowns and such.
yeah, that's interesting. Um, where would you like? Okay, here's like another question, just focusing on the first round. If 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 just for whatever reason, I mean, would you pick up? Would you draft Tyreek Hill in the first round? Do you think he's gonna have anything close to the type of like fantasy production he's had previously?
Absolutely not. Not with Tua throwing.
Yeah, I'd stay away from that.
Okay,
Probably.
and now another modified question, and this is just like as my curiosity keeps going. Um, Now that uh, what's his face? Oh wow, Edmonds is in Miami, not in Arizona. When like would you draft James Conner early? Like, would you draft him before a Nick Chubb or you know, uh, even or like a David Montgomery? Because James Conner put up a lot of points last year on a lot of touchdowns, and he's good, but he lost some like really any like passing opportunities to Chase Edmonds, who was really more of that like receiving running back for Arizona. Um, and I wonder if he makes a big leap or if there's a regression with James Conner because so many of his points came off of touchdowns last year.
Yeah, I'm not sure on that one. I just saw that what's his name? Spacing on it. Quarterback for Arizona, Kyler Murray is back from training from his injury or whatever.
Yeah, and I do want, and I mean, there's also how does DeAndre Hopkins being suspended? How does that impact the like running game and like the value for I mean for really anyone on the Arizona Cardinals, like Kyler Murray as well. Like, is he still one of the top quarterbacks that you draft?
I wouldn't be. I don't know if I would draft him.
I'm going to pick Jalen before Kyler. Let's put it that way.
This is a good question that Brandon just put in the AMA questions. Where, how do you guys feel? Mike Williams, like where does he fall? The wide receiver for the Chargers. I feel
I
like
think
he had flashes, but still hasn't lived up to potential.
I think they are pricing him right around that 6 to 8 round mark. Maybe he reaches into the 5th round, depending on what's available.
Would you take him as like a yeah, like a your like number 3 receiver if that's even an option?
Yeah, number 2 or number 3, somewhere around there.
Definitely seems like high upside, but there's just still risk that he's gonna just be quiet, and get lost in that offense.
Yeah.
What about tight ends? What are you guys looking at? What would be your top pick?
Good question. I mean, I think I would say for top pick at tight end, um, I mean, I guess there's like the guys that you feel like are like the skill guys where you're just like, that's the best tight end. But then there's the guys that are just system tight ends. I think Travis Kelce's still tight end number one.
Yeah, Travis and Mark Andrews or something.
But I really like Kyle Pitts, and it'd be hard to pass up on him. I mean, like,
George
do you take
Kittle would be another one, but yeah, he's probably. Kyle Pitts is definitely. I think.
Kittle's good, but I mean, Kittle didn't. He didn't like perform at that level, in my opinion. Like, I mean, like at the level that he was being viewed in terms of tight ends in the league,
Yeah.
um, wasn't top four. It felt last year, but I think part of that's also because, right, like Kyle Pitts, like I think you have to. He definitely supplants him. You have Darren Waller, who's also really good. That one can be tricky just because of like the system. Um, and then also last year, like once he got hurt, it threw things off. But like T.J. Hawkinson for the Lions he's a really good tight end. I wonder if his stats drop because they just have like the Lions just have more offensive options now than like 2 years ago or a year ago even, right? Like there are more players that they can give the ball to, and they're not just gonna like rely on him as much as they were before.
Yeah, for sure. What about David Montgomery for running back?
Well, Vora would take him in the first round. um, I guess also Brandon put in the question, David Njoku. I mean, do you risk drafting any player on the Browns offense? I feel like anyone on that offense is a risk.
Yeah.
Unless I'm always afraid that players are no longer with the teams I think they are, and so I'm talking about them, but sounding like an idiot. I'd also put up like I do think he's not flashy, but feel like I lost a lot of games last year, specifically to Dalton Schultz. Um, and I don't see that dynamic changing in Dallas. I see him continuing to get more looks and like being a very consistent part of the passing game for Dallas. So I don't know if he's going to put up the same numbers, but like I think he's a solid pick that I think it will get overlooked. I mean, there will be people that will probably do like a last minute draft research and just look to see like who are the top fantasy tight ends last season that'll jump to pick him. But I think if you see if people are taking the like the Kelseys, the Mark Andrews, Kyle Pitts, whatever, like that could create an opportunity to pick up Dalton Schultz, who I think is under the radar but really put up big numbers last year.
Yeah, he could be a sleeper for sure. That's one to watch. What do you guys think? Who do you guys think would be um or the number one like quarterback that's gonna kind of surprise us this year?
Could you would you count um wow, my brain just went blank. I mean, I think the other it would be a big surprise, not a big surprise, but be a surprise if Jalen Hurts was like really made a big jump this year and like because I think he's shown like a solid floor, but if he really like jumped to that upper echelon of quarterback, I think that'd be a big surprise. Um, I think I feel like you can also throw uh, wow,
I
my
missed the
brain.
I missed the first name. Who are you saying? Who
Oh,
talking about?
Jalen Hurts. I was gonna say,
Jalen.
Russell Wilson. Even though, like, I don't know if you can call him like anything he does is a surprise, but I feel like Russell Wilson is an interesting one. Like, we have an expectation of him being a top quarterback, and like he can move, but he's had such a drop off. But now that now he's at Denver, and with like a new set of pretty talented wide receivers and like a solid running like option, like the new environment, it could just be like he could make a big jump from what he did last year.
Yeah, definitely. Is Lamar Jackson gonna step it up this next season, you think?
I think he's. I mean, if he can stay healthy, I think it's just the big thing of him staying on the field. But he, I think he's a solid pick. If you end up with him, I think you're in a pretty good place.
Yeah, for sure. Um, I don't even know who the Seahawks QB now is. Brandon was asking. I'm not
Is
even
it
sure.
Geno Smith?
Let me see.
He was their backup last year. Oh, I guess it's. I think it's a competition. So I'm seeing on there basically Drew Lock and Geno Smith because they got Lock in that trade.
This just came out 18 minutes ago. The Seahawks would sign Baker Mayfield if the Browns opt to cut him.
I'm I'm sure there'd be a few teams that would want to sign him if he got cut. I don't think they don't see enough of value. Like there's enough risk that it doesn't make sense to trade for him, given what the Browns are probably asking for him. But I'm sure, yeah, like like an experience like still in his like prime quarterback. Like it's hard to not pick him up, especially if you're a team like the Seahawks that doesn't have a clear cut starter. But maybe Baker Mayfield
For
getting
sure.
in like a more established, like solidified system, and like with like Pete Carroll, maybe that's good for him. Maybe that could be like a change of scenery that he needs. But I have a feeling he's going to end up not playing much this year.
Yeah. Did you guys watch the game one last night for NBA Finals?
Yeah, Boston. I mean, considering Steph had a really good game and Boston still won, it's a good sign for Boston.
Yeah, and Tatum was like 3 for 17 or something, but he had like his career high in assists, I believe. But yeah, still Al Horford and Jaylen Brown stepped up big time.
Yeah. All right. I mean, does anyone have any? I mean, anyone that's listening in want to say anything, or Tyler, anything you guys wanted to bring up while we're all on? All right. Yeah. Well, I mean, it'll be interesting to see what game two looks like because it feels like game one was a game that Golden State needed to win, at least in my opinion. But
Yeah, I think though the consensus everyone was thinking that they were gonna win the first game. I thought they would. I thought it would be close, but I didn't expect that honestly at the end. But Celtics are tough, so
yeah,
I wanted them to win either way. But yeah, it's gonna be interesting. Next game's Sunday, so yeah, there's the Ukraine Wales, and then game two later that night.
yeah, a lot of good sports going on.
Rangers or Lightning, hey, Brandon. Probably the Rangers. I'm guessing again. They look good. They have been looking really good, but I do like the Bolts, so or Lightning.
Yeah, it feels like it's still early. I mean, the Rangers definitely clearly are bringing like a much better offense to the series compared to the last series. But Tampa Bay is so good. I wouldn't be surprised if this one ended up going 7 games. I think Tampa has shown like once they're like up against the wall that they like have the talent to be able to fight back and like stay in a series. So, but we'll see what happens with tonight's game and see if they fall down 2-0 or if they can even the series. All right. Well, thanks everyone for still listening in. I guess I'll maybe to like wrap up because I realized I did not bring it up. We've had a really good forum thread going regarding some of the approaches to liquidity for the league token and what we might want to do and some moves that we can make as a DAO to use some of our resources to support that liquidity. Feels like we've got consensus in the forum around what that proposal should look like. So we will be crafting that into a proper DAO vote, and we'll give everyone plenty of lead time and heads up before we launch the vote, but also before we once it's up, so everyone has a chance to actually vote and impact this one. So keep an eye out for that, and check into the forum if you haven't already and you're interested in figuring out and getting up to speed on what the proposal is. And but this is sort of one piece of a larger phase of events that is geared towards boosting or improving the liquidity for the league token in advance of the fall and the mega league, where we see that there will be a lot of there's a lot of added utility coming live, and so we want to make sure there's we have a more sustainable liquidity model and improving on some of the learnings that we've had over the past 8 to 10 months of the league token being live. All right. Well, thanks everyone. Appreciate it as always. Um, if you have any questions for us, feel free to throw them into Discord. We're gonna
One thing
be
I want to say
announcing.
is, did y'all watch that game last night? Like, can y'all believe Boston pulled it out at the end?
Yeah, that was a nice win.
I didn't mean to interrupt you, Jake. I just could tell you were wrapping up, and I wanted to ask everybody if they watched that.
Yeah, I know. We were just talking about it. Yeah, it's I feel like it really feels like that was like a big game for Golden State to win, and it puts Boston in a really good place. Given like Steph went off, had a great game, but still Boston was able to win. Like, really feels like Boston's in control. And it's still early in the series, but it's a good sign for Boston.
Yeah, I agree. Anyway, I didn't mean to interrupt you, dude.
Nope, all good. Yeah, like I said, we're just wrapping this one up. So yeah, stick around in Discord and keep an eye out because we'll be running a giveaway on Twitter for to coincide with the Seekers announcement, as the Seeker NFTs with the footballs and the LeagueDAO stickers continue to reveal. So keep an eye out on that. We're giving away the Tyler Higbee Genesis player token. So that's like a real legit starter. So FYI, you'll want to make sure that you're participating in that giveaway.
Yeah, that's a good giveaway for sure. He should have a good year. Cool. Well, catch you guys next week.
All right. Thanks, everyone. Have a good weekend.
Bye, everybody.